ones I do go over, and if not, that's fine too, because guess what? I'm recording this and I will be sending it out so you could listen to it later. In the meantime, I would like to begin with my screen share. So let me just get that up really quick. And I will... Okay, right now, the presenter. Go. First of all, I'm going to be honest, I don't think anyone is really using this in our region, hence why I think it's so important that you guys are aware of it and how you can utilize it. It is an absolutely amazing tool. You would have first gotten an email from IBM giving you the actual access to get your partner email. It basically gives you all
Rachel, are you talking or you're still...
Having problems hearing me? Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Because I was rambling without anyone hearing me, so thank you very much for speaking up. So,
right.
I don't know where you heard me last. Did you get my intro or anything?
No, we just know that you're recording it, and but there's a big gray screen all over your presentation. So if you want to stop sharing and reshare, because okay, now we can see getting started with IBM Digital Content Marketing, November 12th, join WebEx, mark as read.
Perfect. Okay. So let me just back up a little bit. I was just making mention that I think we had a little learning curve here to understand that there's obviously a lot of valuable information when it comes to partner programs, as well as equally valuable information when it comes to the digital content marketing. So, in future, as updates are done by IBM, we'll be doing, I think, webinars separately. But regardless, I am going to go over a little bit because I won't be able to get through everything in the next 10 minutes. But what I have just started to at least go through this portal, which is done on myzift123.com, is where everybody on this call should have access to. So by the time you're off this call today, my goal is to make sure that you have access and that you can get into this. You should have received an email with an activation once you started the partner, once you got on the IBM partner, created your partner profile. And here, when you log in, all IBM organized webcasts will be advertised. So you see that first pop-up is for upcoming webinar that's happening, or at least, happening on November 12th. Unfortunately, it's Eastern Standard Time, so around 11 a.m. in America is around 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Here in Dubai. So, if you are up at that time, it's great to just dial in to see what valuable information that you can learn. And they do, out of the U.S., they are driving these webinars pretty regularly. So here you'll be able to get updated information. Once you log into the portal, I just want to highlight some of the things that you'll be able to see. You'll start with campaigns. You have web plugins, which we're not going to go over today. You have social media, which is super valuable. You have collateral, which is super duper valuable. And then you have analysis and contacts. So this essentially is a plug-and-play portal for anybody to use IBM content to drive marketing. This is theoretically would save you money, so you don't have to spend with an agency to do it on your behalf, because you can use this portal to send your communication. And a lot of times I get information about, hey, I need collateral, and guess what? This portal has so much. So they're constantly updating this information, so you can see if you just scroll down, there is campaigns that are really accurate from this year. So they start in 2019, it goes to about 2020, and you'll see the most updated campaigns that are being released here. And when I say campaigns, I'm going to go into that in a moment and show you just how detailed it is. If you click campaigns, it will open up a new page where you have an option to browse campaigns, browse emails, and so forth. There's a number of different tabs. I'll allow you to go through that on your own time, but I want to ensure, and just because we have limited time, some of the highlights of what you should be looking at. Now, on the left side of your menu, you'll be able to see activity type, and simply by clicking, you'll see that the page will automatically update based on the type of collateral that you want to send out. And you can scroll down the huge IBM portfolio, but we don't want to do that necessarily. You'll see how under product, services, solution on the left-hand side, only areas that have emails will be available to sort through, right? But for this purpose, there is that sorting on the left-hand side. I don't want to limit us too much, but I do want to show you the options. So you have your activity types as one. You have your products, which all of the IBM portfolio are present here. You're just going to have to expand that menu to go down to any of the solutions that you're promoting. If you want to focus on industry, they also have included content that are industry focused. I would refrain from focusing on that to get your content at first, but you can definitely search to see what's available. And then obviously language. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to browse. There's a search area, and you can see there's numerous ways to browse this. You see 93 campaigns on here, which is kind of cool. So let's talk about a product that a lot of people are selling, like QRadar. If I type in QRadar, press enter, it will bring up two campaigns that are available. One's in Spanish, which won't be relative, but here's one on cloud. And that's in English. It's about security, and it will give you a little bit more information. On the bottom here, we'll have these icons that will show you what's in this campaign. So you can simply scroll over to see there's reference material, there's some workflow, which I'll get into that in a moment. There's also some web plugin, right? So let's check it out. So we'll click details and be brought into a new screen. Now this is pretty extensive, and this is really to make your life super easy. When I say super easy, it's you don't have to be a marketing professional to understand how this works. IBM has simply outlined everything for you here, and they've collected and created like this campaign in a box, so you can see all this content in relation to a great campaign. And they show you this is launched last year, so this has been here available for you to use until the end of December, right, of this year. Now, you can choose to use all of these assets or click one of them at a time. Now, here on the left side, you'll see how it works. IBM essentially is saying for this campaign, you can drive emails. I'm just going to skip through each one of these bullet points. I'm not going to read that. I'll leave that up to you to figure it out how to do it, but I will show you what you need to see on a high level. This email workflow will give you 3 different emails, and simply by clicking, it will open up the email. Now, this is all going to be customized to your company logo on the top right. It will plug in the person's name in your email list. It will show hyperlinks to videos, and it will even plug in your name here. And again, the partner name would be there and your address. And that's done through this portal once you set everything up. Just to go back, you'll be able to, if you don't want to use the portal to send out communication, you could definitely highlight, let's see, excuse me as I bounce around for a second. You can highlight some of the content inside the email and then just copy and paste into your own email. But this is all customizable and personalizable on this system, which is great. Also here they have web banners. So if you are to do a digital campaign, you want to hyperlink some of this content on a third-party website, and you have some marketing funds to spend and do that, here you have the artwork immediately, which is fantastic. And here, simply by previewing, scroll over is driving me nuts, but you can see exactly what that banner looks like, right? And you can choose where to hyperlink it to your website to get to get leads from these type of campaigns. So these campaigns are all meant to get you business, and the way the marketing works is it's not usually so tactful where you just have to do one campaign, one email and expect to get leads. Your ideal customer database should be contacted numerous times and in numerous ways. So when IBM gives you a campaign, it's giving you numerous emails, it's giving you web, it's giving you, if you look over here to the right, because you'll see here's the email workflow we'll go through in a second. It's giving you that web banners, which I mentioned. You get choices of sizes, and it's giving you a bunch of reference material that you can use as well, from video to analyst briefs, which are great, which means that this is like your campaign in a box. You got everything you need to drive a nice campaign, really healthy, with a lot of multiple touch points to your end customers. So if you have a database already, this is great to use to start targeting that database. If you do not have a targeting database, then that's where you and I need to work together on getting that and building that, whether it be a new industry or so forth. But here's where you're going to find the content to push so that you can nurture those contacts and make sure that you can give them as much information as you possibly can that will increase your lead generation and obviously the return ROI expected. So on the top right, it shows that we can continue to select all of these components and continue through our campaign. And it's going to walk me through each part of this campaign. It's going to show me all the emails that I've chosen. I can remove one if I feel like one of them is not relevant. So you want to go through all of this to see if it really relates to the services and products that you're offering and the knowledge that you have to bring to your customers. Then it will walk me through a process. It basically holds my hand and says, hey, let's get this to your customer. You can review everything. It will show you how this works, and you can start to either download this content if you choose to send it on your own email, or you can send an email, right? So you're going to be able to create this. You can pause this activity and come back at a later stage. You can edit it. You have a lot of different things. You can schedule it, and once you decide you want to email, you can select even more components that you want to add to your email. And here it's purely like an easy plug and play. Cancel next, choose what you want to download, click next, and it's going to create a new campaign or a new email based on what you're trying to achieve, right? And if you ever get stuck here and it gets too confusing, reach out to me. I'm always here on standby to help you figure this out. But ideally, you're going to be able to download and go through this process all on this portal. Now, on the left-hand side, if you go through the scheduling, it will go, I haven't scheduled anything yet, but you can potentially schedule and then come back at a later stage, right? If you go back to your campaign, you can start reviewing the content and seeing exactly what's going to happen. So here's full-on workflow of how that's going to happen. And once it shows you that you're going to go through each one of the steps of checking those emails, going through your final step, and it will tell you exactly how far you've come through this process. So right now we've gotten to 0, right? And I've just reached 12:03, but I'm going to keep on going if you guys don't mind, just so I can move around and kind of show you how simple and easy this is. Once you click next, it takes you into the settings. So it's essentially, this is what you're seeing and what email is going to get notified when you're sending out these type campaigns from this system. Again, this is kind of like a CRM system where you're going to wind up uploading all of your leads and the emails that you want to communicate with on this system. And this system will tell you all the analytics that you need after, right? So it's a great tool to use, but for any reason, if you have hesitation of sharing your contacts with IBM, you can do this on your own email just by downloading everything and copying it, right? So here, once we get into the workflow, it systematically gives you the email that you're going to send out, what happens, to go to the next step, which is you wait another week to send out email number 2, right? And then you wait another week and you send out email number 3, and then here's your final step. So as long as you agree to these terms, you can also skip steps, you can edit this, it's all customizable. But as soon as you click save and next, it will take you to the next stage, which is where you personalize it. And this is the coolest part, because IBM is basically creating all this content and saying, hey, partner, put your logo, put your name down here, put your partner name down here. Maybe you want to include your social icons, and you'll see on the right-hand side, this is exactly where you're going to edit the logo. You can even edit their banner that they put on there to put your own business banner. This is giving you the hyperlink of where we're going to be sending people that roll over the curator on cloud, right? You see how that's highlighted there? You can even upload your own file. I mean, talk about customizable. Really cool. Include your social media icons, remove some of them if you don't have a YouTube page, right? And this is where you're going to put your email, your URL, and so forth. So pretty self-explanatory. It's even put the business partner logo, which IBM allows you to use, so you don't have to worry about adjusting that, right? And then we're going to, I can't move forward here unless I upload stuff, but I don't have enough time to do that. But you can see that you can send a test to yourself, so before you even send it to anybody, you know what it's going to look like once it gets to your email. Okay? I hear somebody talking, but I don't want to see it. There's a chat there. Really quick, I have to leave. Okay, got another call. Thanks for the session. You're welcome. Rahul, it will be recorded. The rest of it you can hear later on, so I'm just going to finish it up here. I understand everyone has other priorities, but thank you for joining in the meantime. Here, when you go to participants, you'll be able to see that this is where you can decide who's eligible to work to get this email, and you can set rules here and so forth. Again, you can save and go next. And then from here, this is one of the final stage, is how you want to activate this campaign, right? And this is just basically said, once I justify everything, it says these are the emails I'm going to be sending in the workflow that we've adjusted, and how, and basically activate it. So you want it to activate, this is all you have to do is press that button, and boom, it starts sending out emails. So that's one way of using this portal in a very productive way. I'm going to pass web plugins for this part of the webinar, and I'm going to skip social media just for a second because I'm going to go right to collateral. Let's say you don't want to go through all of this and you just want to send out some collateral. Same filtering is on the left-hand side. You'll be able to choose if you want something customizable where you can put your business partner logo and contact information, if you want to just download it and send it, and what type of assets they are. There's so many different types that you can find. And then here's the main one, is really the products or services. So you can find something that's relevant to you, right? I know that there's a lot of security guys on this call, so I'm just going to click security for you to see how it works. It's going to pull up. Look, there's already a ton of collateral that it's going to find, and you're going to see everything from videos on down. Now this stuff is massive. There's so much to choose, and really you should be sharing this information on a regular basis with your customers. So if you're not emailing it to them, then you should be driving campaigns or at least sharing it across social media, because that's your way of communication. You know, maybe you want to download it and send it by WhatsApp. Completely up to you, you know, but there's so many options, from ebooks where you can get lead generation campaigns. This would drive people to input their, name, their phone number, and email if they download something from this, and I can help you create those type of campaigns, really simple to use and do. If I just scroll up to the top, when you go to social media, this is where you're going to find that IBM already has pre-written content that's there to share. So you see that for some reason my participation screen is like blocking this, but on the right side of this you have an option to edit these posts. So number one, you can see everything that's scheduled to actually go out on social media. You would link in your Twitter and your Instagram or any other social media. These are the two that we're using for Golf Software. You can adjust your content. You can see I'm able to get in there and move around. Maybe I don't like what's being said. I want to adjust it a little bit. It's fine. I can change the images that you see. You know, you could really use their marketing huge corporation and adjust it according to what you want to do, right? And you can even auto schedule this so it goes out without you doing anything, or you can actually adjust a way so that you have to approve it before it goes on, and that would keep you on this website on a regular basis so that you can see what kind of content's being pushed. Now, there's no question that this is kind of lacking content, right? I mean, you can see that there's only one up here right now, but if you go up to library posts and you pick some of the filters of content that you want to see, other posts, you can basically choose from every single post that's ever been created. And again, this is information that you're going to be sharing on a regular basis, so you get to choose how and when you want to choose this, right? But it's great to link in your social media pages so that it's done automatically, and especially if you wanted to spend some time to schedule content, here's a way to do it based on the products and services that you're selling. So you'd go in here, and it's taking a while, but once I do search, there is a ton of content here. It's just taking, No, I don't want to clear all. I want to make sure that it's filtered because I was just searching it. Yeah, so let's just take away one and see if it filters a little bit better. I did this all before our call, but for some reason, I don't know if it's internet connection or whatnot, it's taking a while. You can also create posts on down. So if I remove all the filters, obviously you can see the library of posts, and it is massive. They have tons of stuff, and you see that there's nothing that's time sensitive. There are no dates here. You can choose simply by choosing the plus to activate such a post, and you will see exactly the post can come up. You can choose which page you want it to be shared in. Again, you can adjust the post content, the pictures, and you can even schedule the time or post now. Once you approve it, boom, it is posted and you have shared that content on your social media. So I've gone over campaigns for campaigns in the box. I've gone over your social media opportunities where you can share online so you can be touching your customers on a regular basis. I suggest 3 times a week minimum to be posting and sharing. I've shared collateral of where you can find everything you possibly could need based on the type of assets that you're looking to share. And you have so much from calling for telemarketing campaigns, case studies, data sheets, ebooks, flyers, everything. You can even adjust it so that you can get the customizable content that you can put your logo and your brand on. And then you can even go into analysis of the campaigns if you choose to do it on this platform. That gets a little bit more tricky, and I think that's probably reason for another call post this date and time. But the very last thing I'd like to show you is that this is a platform that they've created for vendors that have these channel programs, and they have a very easy way to get information of how to use their portal, right? Because hundreds and thousands of people are using this, partners across the world, and they've made it really simple. There's e-learning just by choosing, how to do it, and they've created all these like campaigns and tips that you can basically find how to run the campaign, how to adjust activate the campaign, how to personalize and schedule your posts on social media, right? How to create a sales rep or create a user right here if you need more than one person at your company. They have a ton of video content that's available here. So it'll just be rerouted to Vimeo where they host all of their videos. But in the meantime, you'll be able to see everything here. So they're about a minute or 2 minutes long. These videos are really easy. It walks you through the portal, and And that basically is the best way to kind of utilize this website. So out of hand, I'd love to know, is anybody currently on this using this? Has anybody in this webinar actually have access to this that you can say, is anybody on here that you can maybe let me know? Is anybody using this today? I'm going to give you a second to just jump in the chat. Let me know. All right, no one's responded. So now I'm going to ask you another question. Who is going to be using this after today's call? Yay! Okay. Great. I like that people are going to look into details to use it. Priyanka, great. This is so much information. You know, this really kind of, we're always here to help. Definitely. I love that positivity. I think that there's great tools on here. And as you can see, there's thousands of them. And it's a great tool that everyone can use and really start communicating on a regular basis with all of our partners because, all of your end customers, because why not? You know, you need to be contacting them regularly so they remember who you are. Now, I'm going to just end this webinar today. Thank you so much for going over that 15 minutes. Sorry it was a little longer, but I appreciate you guys all joining. But I'm going to end my part with just a quote for action of happiness and also the action of driving more revenue for your business. Choose a different route and see what you notice on the way. Right, and so like I said, if you're not using this, this is the new route that I'd like you guys all to focus on. Get registered today. Make sure that you can get your content at least to download, to start sharing, whether it be at customer meetings that you go to, or you can even get money from marketing funds to even print out some of this collateral so that you can bring it everywhere you go. Put it on a USB. Give it to your customers. This is valuable information to help inform them of their products and services that you want them to use, and ideally anything that you're using, we really want to track back to how this portal helps you. There's so many ways to really enhance it to the next level and spend some money where you have marketing funds that can help you out and do some amazing, incredible lead generation for 2020, which is coming up before you know it. So don't wait. Today's the day. Please, after this call, register on Ziff and let me know that you did. And if you do have any questions, let me know so I can help you through it. I'm going to just hand it over to Solomon to wrap up. Is there any questions or what questions do you have for me so I can answer them before we get off the line? What do you got, guys? Anything for me? Thank you so much. I think we'll be really working hard and as we want you to use content to push to your customers. I want you to use content to push to our partners, and I think the more you see this, the more comfortable you'll be using it more often. So thanks again for your time. Solomon, you got anything to wrap it up?
Yeah, just a minute. Today, so thank you so much, Rachel. That was really interesting. I'm going to just quickly wrap up everything. I just want to let you guys know regarding focus programs or strategy over the sharing about you. I know there's a lot of information today to consume. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be setting up 5 questions. If you have any questions, let me know. If you've got any questions regarding the incentives, let me know. I would recommend you don't take a forward call when it comes to incentives. There are various guides that are available online to help you understand how you can claim the incentive, what you should be talking about, so on and so forth. The main thing over here is that Rachel and I are here for you guys, and we want you to come to us for any information regarding online marketing, regarding partner word itself, regarding incentive programs. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to get in touch, and we'll be more than happy to help. With that, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis actually. previously this is the first time we've had a topic for these types of programs and marketing tools, but Rachel and I are planning to have many more. Just so that we keep you guys engaged. I know I'm hoping that 10 days after this webinar, you won't forget about it after the 9 days. That's why maybe I think regular webinars is a great way to touch with you guys. If you guys have any questions, we're always available, but regular webinars is also a great way for everyone to get together and learn together. Cool. Okay, signing off guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.